I'm walking, yes indeed I'm talking, but you and me, I'm hoping that you come back to me. I'm lonely.
Fats Domino, yes, from New Orleans. He actually returned. He moved back here after Katrina, as did just about everybody else. The city is alive right now, and it's interesting to see it 10 years afterwards. And it's alive with small business people, thousands here at the Sage Business Summit, and getting some expert advice on how to run their business. And this is a subject that comes up all the time, particularly for us as journalists, is how to pitch your company. Christina Daves joins us right now, who has written a book called PR for Anyone, 100 Affordable Ways that you can create buzz for your business. Christina, let me suggest one way not to create buzz for your business: sending me an email that at Bloomberg Radio or Bloomberg Television. I get emails all day long, like probably somewhere between 50 and 100 every day, pitching me stories. Almost all of them don't even belong in my direction, but that's the way people think about PR, is writing a press release and sending it to strangers.
Right, and I actually, because most small business owners can't afford a publicist, so I teach them this really simple formula, but how you'll see that email and how to get you to notice it and read it. Don't write a 5,000 word email. You guys are just going to hit delete.
We do. I've actually sent things back to people and said, you know what? Just give me the point. Give me 1 or 2 lines about why I should do what you want me to do.
I tell them how to write a great hook in a subject line, something that would be appropriate for Bloomberg Radio, like how to pitch Bloomberg Radio. And then just a couple bullet points, hey, this is why I think it's good. Here you go. And make it really easy for the journalist.
But that's to Cory's point. Like, he and I will sometimes, pass back and forth messages like, can you believe these people sent this? Do they not know what we do? I mean, do you often say know your audience? Like, know who you're pitching
Absolutely.
to?
And it's funny because I interview journalists all the time, and that's what they tell me. They're like, it's PR firms that are sending us this stuff that has nothing to do.
Well, and
so
clients paying for that
a lot of
annoyance.
Money. Yep. So I'm educating the business world how to find the right places to be and then how to pitch effectively.
So talk to me about what an effective pitch is then.
Well, it just really depends, where are your customers, who would be interested in your story, and make it more about a story. It's not about Christina Daves. It's something that I've done or something that's happened in my past that would be interesting to your audience.
Like a broken foot?
Like a broken foot.
Talk to us about
exactly.
how you turned a broken foot. You created an apparel business as a result of that.
I did. It was a freak accident. I broke my foot, and the doctor put me, in that ugly medical boot, and I was going to New York City. I'm like, I'm not going to New York looking like this. So I'm on the train, Googling medical boot accessories, medical boot fashions.
Did you come up with anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
She finally found a 4-inch heel with her. No.
Jimmy Choo does not make a heel for
to balance it out. But then I went home and started researching, and 4 million people a year are putting boots. So I always say that's a lot of ugly people walking around.
Or beautiful people with ugly boots.
With an ugly foot, right. But now it's just turned this whole negative into something fun. So instead of someone looking at you and saying, oh, gosh, what happened? It's, oh my God, that's so cute. Look at that. So it just makes you feel a little bit better about yourself.
So I really am curious about this sort of how you take that story and turn that also into sort of a PR story.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. I pitched, there's a magazine called Lower Extremity Review. That's all.
I know.
Right? You read it. You get it, right?
Reading
I've
it
been
for
years, yes.
But it's all orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists. So perfect place for my product. They don't put anything like my product in there, but I got on the phone with the editor and said, basically what I just said to you guys, and he's like, I love you. I love your passion. I'll put you in my magazine. So he put it as a featured product.
And did the business just take off?
So yeah, it's been several things. I had I joke I do Google alerts, and I do celebrity broken foot, and all of a sudden one day
she's like an ambulance chaser.
I am. And Diana Ross was at LAX in a boot. So I picked up the phone and I called her publicist and I said, listen, this is what I do. He said, send me an email. Well, I got through the first person. The publicist said, send me an email. He said, I sent it to Miss Ross. I'll let you know. I thought, sure you did. 2 hours later, and I knew she was coming to D.C. to do Christmas in Washington and sing for President Obama. And she loved it. So I met with her wardrobe person down at the Ritz-Carlton. And then I set my Google alerts again. And there she was wearing my products.
That's pretty cool.
Hilarious.
That took off my business.
But I was going to say, and it's smart. You just targeted it and just.
Yeah. And then I went back to all the people I was trying to get in their offices for meetings and said, look, Diana Ross wore it. And that got me in.
I mean, we talk about there's just so much information out there. I mean, so for someone who is really trying to distinguish their business and set them apart, what's your advice to them?
What makes you different? What makes you unique? And what's your story? everybody's a story. Like, people love this story of how I started this business. I saw a need and I did it. That's a great story. So create the story around your product or your business and pitch that.
Should it be, we don't have a lot of time left, but is it really about getting customers or getting attention, and those will lead to customers?
I always say you want to be where your customers are, so you get a return on your investment. Everybody wants to be on the Today Show. Well, if you're a local florist, other than saying you're on the Today Show,
good luck with that.
Yeah. So, but
it's very interesting, like what you said with Diana Ross. I think about jewelry makers, and if they can get a celebrity like Kate Hudson or something, and InStyle shows a feature of them wearing something. That happened with Uggs. I remember years ago, she was wearing Uggs, and it just kind of took off.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah.
Well, we wish you well.
Thank you very much.
And Diana Ross.
And Diana Ross.
She's better now? She's doing better?
She's better now.
Is your foot well?
Yes. Okay.
All right, listen to Bloomberg Advantage and Bloomberg Radio.